Welcome back to Monday, or whatever we're doing. We're not dissecting any PCs today, unfortunately. Although people seem to really enjoy that, maybe we will break something apart.
You should have come on the show today with like band-aids on every one of your fingers.
Like I got it working. So I'm just bleeding out all over the place.
Yep.
Well, that is that. Well, Paul, I'm just gonna kick it off here because this one's near and dear to my heart, quite literally. Sitting in front of me is a Surface Book 2.
Yep.
That is not running the May update because apparently just a little minor problem overlooked. I don't know how this happens. We don't make this stuff up. Apparently Microsoft had to pull the May 2019 update because if you install it on this thing, it just, it kind of hides the second GPU. It happens. It happens. It's not like they make the hardware or anything.
But you don't really use it for anything. What's the difference?
No, I mean, people didn't spend.
Which is this is bad news for me because that's the computer I'm bringing away. And it is running 1903.
Well, I hope you weren't planning the game, or
I am not
video,
planning the game.
or
use
Photoshop.
The video. There'll be no video out. It will be fine. No, I don't. Yeah, it's been okay. I mean, I don't. I guess the problem is when the D GPU kicks in.
Yeah, it runs into a little stability problem because the machine.
I'll let you know how that goes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I use it almost every day. I mean, it seems like it's fine. I don't.
Yeah, it's just an odd one to slip through there. You think like an automated test should have caught that.
Yeah.
But you know what, Paul? They have made concerted efforts. They are fixing the update process. It's fine.
I'm sure John Cable will come out with a post that explains that everything's fine and all our complaints are stupid because they do all this testing and
they'll just leave it in the release preview ring for another month. That's
right. Just for Surface.
Just the Surface Book 2 ring specifically.
Maybe they need a Surface Book ring,
Maybe we do. Maybe you do. It is a quiet Monday. Inspire is happening. There's a keynote happening. Well, by the time you're listening to this, it's probably over. I believe Satya's keynote will be taking place on Wednesday, and it'll be. I'm hopeful, Paul, that the PR people behind Satya's speeches are going to make him not talk about nothing like they did for fiscal year 2019, and that they're revamping the strategy for his keynotes, and that they'll actually have some substance. That would be nice.
I wouldn't look for substance. This is Satya Nadella. I mean, and I don't mean that dismissively. I mean, literally, if you took one of his speeches, put it into Word, and asked them to summarize it, it would come up with a blank page. Like, he doesn't really say much, Yeah. But I think, he says a lot, but it doesn't really amount to much. Maybe that's what you want. Vision stuff. I don't know. Hopefully, there will not be a NASA demo right at the beginning. I would think.
Yep. Too soon.
Yep.
Too soon.
And I just for people listening, I don't expect much in the way of consumer announcements at the show, right? Because this is Microsoft's partners. They serve the corporate world.
Yep.
It's going to be that kind of stuff, I would think.
Much of the embargoes lifted last week, by the way. So.
And by the way, someone asked me, and it's a good question. Microsoft last week said that the Microsoft Edge beta, the one that runs on Chromium, is enterprise ready, whatever that means. And yet they didn't really transition it to a new milestone of any kind, like the beta version's not available. Yeah. It's a little weird. Like I kind of expected that to me seems like the type of thing that should accompany it being enterprise ready, like it's in beta,
Yep.
So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but you can feel free to try that, although I don't think anybody's really going to be running that in production for quite a while.
No.
There's no reason to.
Nope, no reason at all.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see how many people actually say, you know what, we just switched to Chrome and we're just going to run that because
That's the problem, actually. Yeah. I mean, I bet a wide percentage of the enterprises is running Chrome, and why on earth would you switch?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's...
Yeah.
If you're really holding out and not using Outlook because of a dark theme, that is coming soon.
Yeah. Keep holding out because it's not there yet. But
yeah,
they pretty much do it. They're implementing dark. It's sort of like the new icons. They're happening. It's
yeah.
You know what isn't happening, by the way, that gets me a little freaked out because I literally switched back to Word last year sometime. It was a long time ago. in the hopes that I would be able to use the simplified ribbon that they talked about
Oh yeah.
last year at whenever. I mean, maybe at Inspire even. I don't even know. And if you go to Word on the web, right, at office.com or whatever, it has the simplified ribbon. It's really nice looking. But if you run Microsoft Word, the desktop application, even in Office inside a preview, it still uses the old ribbon. The big, heavy, enormous ribbon. So I'm kind of looking forward to this lightweight UI, but hasn't happened
Which,
yet.
by the way, did you know that Microsoft does not own Word.com? I just found that.
That's funny. Who owns Word.com?
Merriam-Webster Dictionary.
Okay. Well, at least it's pertinent.
Yes, so it's not like they're just squatting on it. But I was like, I wonder who owns Word.com.
It'd be funny if it was Corel and it just pointed to WordPerfect, Yep, the little final FU from the grave.
Twisting of the dull butter knife between the rib cage. Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot that went on this weekend. I successfully moved some mattresses into my neighbor's dumpster. That felt very wholesome, if you will. Dragging those across the street, nothing makes me feel happier in life about that. So Amazon Prime Day today. I think today and tomorrow. We did buy something.
Oh.
Well, and by we, I mean my wife.
I understand.
We finally bought the iPad that my daughter's going to need.
Oh, nice. Which one did you get? The 9.7.
Whatever the latest cheap one is. We didn't get a mini. We got the one that supports
the 9.7.
Apple Pencil. And she's like, does she need the Pro one? I was like, no.
They need the Pro one. Jeez. What?
It's like, it looks nicer. But the thinner bezel.
No, you want that's good for a kid. You're gonna want to get some kind of a case for it, by the way.
Oh yes. Well, considering this weekend, she dropped my. So my wife was traveling, and she was FaceTiming with my wife. I gave her my phone, and she dropped it. And my pristine phone and case now have a little scratch on the Gorilla Glass there, and
Yeah, so even I'm pretty careful with my devices, but every iPad I've ever owned, all the corners get dinged and nicked because. It will slide off, will just kind of drop down or something. It's really easy to damage. And, with a kid especially, I think, they must have like padded OtterBox style, so you could bounce it off the ground and catch it.
The OtterBox with the attachable airbags is what I'm
get whatever the NFL is using. You should get that. Yeah. It's like Bill Belichick proof.
The Belichick. They need to make a brand of case called the Belichick.
Yeah.
Or they could call it the Belichick. It's like
those commercials where they used to have like a gorilla attack your Samsonite, luggage in the airport.
Bill Belichick now selling the Belichick iPad case. Please.
Yep.
So I don't know when we're going to give it to her, but sometime. Right now, we've been tormenting her with she has to do a certain amount of reading and math, and then she can put a sticker on a chart. And we told her when she finishes the whole chart, which is like 60 things or whatever, then she gets a prize, but she doesn't really know the prize is that the thing that she needs for school anyways.
Well, that's cool, though. That's nice.
Yeah. So there you go. Not a whole lot else going on today.
Yep. Thank God. I'm hot in the preparations for a home swap. We're leaving on Wednesday, so this weekend was like a spaz of cleaning the house and getting stuff done, and spent $2,000 on the car, which is nice because now it's back in the shop because one of the things wasn't quite right, and the light came back on the dash, and all that. It's just it's always like this, always.
Yeah. Yeah, life is living, as it turns out, is pretty expensive.
Yes. Yeah. Dying is probably pretty expensive, but at least it's a one-time fee.
Yeah, and you don't really have to deal with it.
Yeah,
right?
who cares? You just leave it to your heirs.
Yeah, it's just leave your burden on other people. That's the.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to die with a credit card bill, do you? I'm like, yeah, actually, I think that would be the ideal situation.
Like, what did I buy? Like,
I think I'm going to go on a trip to Paris, and I'm not going to pay the bill.
Not a bad idea. Or you put a Porsche on a credit card. Can you put a Porsche on a credit card?
Yeah, could probably.
Probably the down payment, maybe. I don't know. Get it off the lot.
Well, the one I want is used. I could probably buy it, on a credit card. It's I have meager taste, Brad. I don't need anything.
I would love a 355 Spider. Although it would have to be the replica because the authentic ones are like hundreds of thousands of dollars if restored correctly. But I would be happy with a 355 replica. But those are still like $30K.
Yeah.
So
I'd be happy with a 924S, 968.
Yeah.
You were there, right, when I took the picture of Tarek's car. I didn't know it was his car.
Yeah.
It was a good body
with
moment.
any of the models that end in turbo. Like, I'm not even going to pick just any of those.
Sure.
So there you go. There you go, folks. Well, that wraps it up for today. Today will be or this week will be slightly altered because, as Paul mentioned, well,
Brad, you forgot.
what?
I have an awesome dinosaur story.
Oh, yes, I forgot that.
All right, I have. This is just in my brain. I have to tell this. This is so great.
All right, go
I
ahead.
assume you, Brad, and most of the people listening to this are like, grew up loving dinosaurs, and I like a lot of people. Like even as an adult, I'm just fascinated by dinosaurs. I kind of always have been. So, one of the Audible originals this month, if you're a subscriber, you can get it for free. If not, it's probably pretty cheap. It's only like 3.5 hours. It's called a grown up guide to dinosaurs.
Yep.
And I'm only, half an hour, 45 minutes in. I got to say, this book is fascinating. But just consider this fact. Well, actually, let me set the stage. Most people are, I'm sure all people are aware of Tyrannosaurus Rex. They've heard of this dinosaur. Most people are probably familiar with Stegosaurus.
Yep.
It's the one with the big plates on its back. Those dinosaurs lived in completely different eras, right? And so the Stegosaurus is from the Jurassic, and the Tyrannosaurus Rex is from the Cretaceous, which is the most recent time period where dinosaurs were alive. So this is amazing to me. So much time elapsed between the time that the Stegosaurus was alive and the time that the Tyrannosaurus was alive, that the Stegosaurus was already fossilized in the ground, just like it is today, when the Tyrannosaurus Rex was walking around. But perhaps even more amazing than that, that blew my mind. Like even understanding these time frames, I just never conceptualized that.
Yeah.
But the other amazing fact is this: the Tyrannosaurus Rex was alive closer to us in time than it was to the Stegosaurus.
Really?
So less time has elapsed since that thing was alive than between the time that the Stegosaurus and the Tyrannosaurus were alive. Right? That's amazing. Isn't that amazing?
I'm totally here for Dino Facts Daily.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have more. I'm going to keep listening to it, but I do recommend this book. I mean, yeah. I didn't think I was going to learn anything like that. That's cool.
What's the name of the book?
A Grown-Up Guide to Dinosaurs. It's short. It's like an Audible original, so it's one of the short ones.
Oh, do they actually have the print version by any chance?
I don't know.
Well,
Maybe.
we're going to find out because readers will want to know, and I want to know. A grown
I thought it was cool.
It comes up pretty quick. Maybe the Chrome is just listening. It's on Goodreads.
I also like, the guy who narrates the book or wrote the book. Every time he interviews a paleontologist, he asks them what their favorite dinosaur is. Like it's like every single. He's like, I that. It's like asking like a geek like what their favorite computer is or whatever.
Yeah. I will explain to you why I'm very interested in this once we hang up. Everyone will want to know, and I can tell you it's maybe not. Well, there's a link to Amazon, but then it just goes to
right to Audible. It might be Audible
audio.
All I know.
Well, maybe not. So there you go, folks. Welcome back to Dino Fact Daily. We will keep the trend going as long as Paul keeps hanging out there. So, all right, folks, for real, that wraps it up for this week. Slightly altered schedule with Paul traveling Wednesday, so I'd imagine we might be a little schizophrenic. That's a wrong word. Whatever, dicey at the end of the week because of
it will be somewhat schizophrenic, but I guess we'll see. I mean, I should be around. It
just might be a little different than what you're seeing right here. So
yeah, we'll definitely be a little different. Yes.
So, all right, folks, that wraps it up. We'll catch you right back here next time.